This is actually part two to the structure to understand what is going on and who controls the civil statutory person. So when we look at this, based on how the courts operate, how the judiciary functions, we'll go at the following in discussion. Why the bar associations are the functional controllers of the civil statutory birth person. A. The statutory birth person exists only inside the legal system. The birth certificated surnamed legal person is a statutory construct. It has no existence outside the machinery of civil government. All interpretation and enforcement of this construct occurs exclusively within the legal profession's controlled forums, which are courts, tribunals, administrative law systems, legal registries. B. All forms of interpretation and enforcement are controlled by bar licensed actors, judges, lawyers, crown counsel, legal clerks, and those empowered to act upon the legal person are exclusively members of or regulated by the legal profession. The legal state person therefore lives and moves only within a bar-governed jurisdiction. C. The natural Christian man is not a creation of statute and is anterior to statute. This distinction matters. The birth certificated person is created by statute. The Christian man or woman is created by God and protected, surprisingly, by the Charter's Supremacy of God clause in Canada. Therefore, the bar presides only over its own creation, not over the man created by God. D. The bar's monopoly gives it exclusive control over the obligations, duties, and liabilities of the legal person. All civil obligations attached to the legal person, taxation, licensing, registration, fines, penalties, suretyship, are determined through bar-crafted legislation, bar-directed judgments, bar-regulated courts, bar-authenticated documents. E. Therefore, the bar is the effective trustee and administrator of the state-invented person because they created the interpretive framework, enforce the rules, maintain exclusive control of the forums, appoint the judges, and regulate all legal actors. The bar holds functional, operational, and interpretive ownership over the statutory person. F. This confirms the right of a Christian man to conscientiously decline to administer or energize the legal person. A man cannot be compelled to serve two masters. A Christian man cannot be forced to act as a trustee, surety, administrator for a civil fiction administered exclusively by the bar and created without consent. This is the foundation that would be required for a charter conscience accommodation filing. The Bar Association, which is defined as the keeper really of the legal person, is a private guild of legal practitioners who maintain exclusive authority over the civil statutory world, including the interpretation, administration, and enforcement of birth certificated surnamed legal persons. The bar is the priesthood of the artificial realm of law, ruling over the fictitious estate by registration and statute. Origin? Well, born from English Inns of Court, where legal fictions were developed to govern commerce, taxation, and property through an invented person separate from the man, whose function would be creates the interpretive meaning of the legal person, enforces obligations through court and tribunals, controls access to legal remedy through licensing, regulates judges, lawyers, and legal clerks, protects the economic system sustained by the person's obligations. In the spiritual dimension, a rival authority to the jurisdiction of God, demanding allegiance to the legal image and surname identity as found on the birth certificates. Here is a spiritual parable. We'll call it the gatekeepers of the great hall. There once was a great hall built of stone where every child's name was carved on a scroll and hung upon the wall. The gatekeepers of the hall wore long black robes, and none could enter or speak within the hall unless the gatekeepers permitted it. Outside the hall lived men and women of the fields, walking in the open air under the sun of God. But the gatekeepers called to them, saying, "Come inside and speak only through the names we carved for you. Serve the hall through the scrolls that bear your surnames." Some believed the gatekeepers and entered, living by the shadows on the wall. But others heard the voice of the shepherd calling from the hills, saying, "My sheep know my voice, and I call them by name. I gave them not the name carved by the gatekeepers." One day, a Christian man stood at the threshold of the hall. The gatekeepers demanded he enter and answer for the scroll bearing the name they had carved. The Christian man replied, "I cannot serve two masters. The scroll is yours. Administer what you have made. As for me, I belong to the one who made heaven and earth." The gatekeepers could not deny it, for they themselves had written the scroll. So the man walked back into the sunlight free. Hope this little short video, part 2, has helped. And we will follow up with a part 3 that will be dealing with Matthew Henry's commentary on Luke 11.